The thing about commuting by foot is that you have time to think. A lot of time to think. And while at the moment I've taken a pause on the walks that I would take on the daily, I do remember that once I did make a video about walking. The year was 2015. I was a freshman in college, and I recorded the details of the setting of New Brunswick with my phone, and I wanted to give viewers a view of the city. I don't remember why exactly I made this video, but I do think that part of me wanted to share the enjoyment I got while experiencing the city at a walking pace. Having enrolled in a social justice program, I've always had the intention to teach in an urban district. I mean, why wouldn't I teach alongside neighbors and to family and to friends and in spaces I have fond memories of? I also consider very strongly with teaching to my own signals of the fear of making the mistake of assuming that I will always know best for my students. But there is always merit in feeling invested in your communities. In New Brunswick, the memory of neighbors enveloped the city like a blanket. I miss being able to go on walks through the streets. I miss being able to see my friends and my students. I miss being able to move. But given what is outside of our control, I suppose at the moment, I will settle with the brief counted minutes on Zoom before we're eventually kicked out, or the infinite tab switching between email correspondences and my Facebook page. Some things will always stay the same, we convince ourselves, and then boom, things change. Life can only be understood backwards. The first time I went overseas, I didn't tell my mom. The second time I was ambiguous about when I'd return. Then, when the boundary between work and rest thinned, promises became real projects, I considered what is extra. I can picture my mom sighing, wishing that her little boy would just take things slow. I'm sure to her it must have felt like I was trying to get away. Perhaps to her that feels too close to home, when at one point I actually really did try to get away. While I'm reflecting and thinking about life with enthusiasm, think about how I could be a better brother and a kinder son. With any kind of work, self-reflection is essential. It is important to acknowledge how we see ourselves, how our students see us, and how their parents view us, how community and society have also set in stone what and how it contributes, contextualizes identity, our identities. I am male, Latinx, of Mexican ancestry, first-generation American, from the working class. I am Catholic. I'm an educator, handy person, ally and co-conspirator. There are challenges and possibilities and risks by design that lie in our identities. No one understands this more than teenagers do. The odds introduced me to adults who love unconditionally, who helped me understand that there was more to school than constant warnings about the wrong crowds. But what of our brothers? What of our mothers? What of our neighborhoods? I don't believe in distancing to the context and conditions of how and where we teach, but I do believe that knowledge is what constitutes our relationship to ourselves and to our world, and it's something that we should always be building. Today, I'm still learning much more about this city that I've come to know so well. Wherever I am or will be, I'll always know that settings do change, as do people, as I am, and I welcome it. To be attentive and reflective on what my students find important is the least I could do for them and for myself. If we ever plan on connecting with our students, we have to set our eyes on seeing the very same sights that they see, in all its glory and assets, to meet them where they are and where their families frequent. Thank you.